All right, let's do it. So, hello everyone. Hello everyone.
Welcome to the
Welcome.
biz.
Welcome.
Welcome to the Biz. Welcome to the Biz. We are here to give you the latest and greatest biz there is on the market. And we have the one and only Chad with us once again. We love having
I'm
Chad
back.
here. Of course, the man, the myth, the legend, the ledge, the Chad. Good to have you. By the way, we are all, we're sipping on a little some tonight,
Oh, yeah.
Riz is already like 8 deep. So if you hear him slur, don't worry about it too much.
All right, dude.
So we have some topics to talk about today. A lot of main topics. Before we get into all those main topics, let's go over the most recent news, the most recent biz as of late in the Rocket League scene. We have Squishy Muffins receiving his first ban. Okay, his ban. It was an indefinite ban. Because Twitch doesn't like to give you a timed amount for your bans. They like to just hit you with a ban, and he got unbanned. I will say that before we get into discussing it. So he got unbanned. It took some uniting from the Rocket League community to get him unbanned. And I think this is a good subject to bring up because DMCA's are growing stronger. They are they're more deadly. They're like coming in hot for the kill. They're coming to ban your channel. Okay, and so I want to get your guys' takes on the DMCA's. I want to know what you think it does to people's careers. If it's with the music industry. We talked about it a little bit. We touched on it last week about DMCA's, about the companies, and now let's talk about some more now.
Well, I
Okay.
mean, it's serious. It's serious, and I think this is like a great display of like how serious streamers need to be taking this. By all means.
Do you think the record labels should never be able to do this, and that they shouldn't be able to just instantly terminate a channel, especially someone Squishy Sizz, like literally like it's nothing. Like Squishy, like obviously they'll probably get his channel back. Like if anyone that gets banned, they'll get their channel back. But even the risk they don't is just so stupid that you even have to worry about it.
Well, it's not guaranteed, right? That they'll even necessarily get their channel back. And
Yeah.
that's kind of what's scary. I mean, I think what Twitch is probably issuing these bans like immediately, right? Just to protect themselves, to protect Twitch as an entity. But I mean, yeah, I don't know. It's definitely like really serious, and uh, you know, it's gonna get to the point where like these bans are gonna happen, and people probably will not get unbanned. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially the more relevant they are. Like the more relevant DMCA's are, the more often we see them. I feel like people will stop getting banned or stop getting unbanned for them.
Yeah, I was kind of surprised his ban only lasted like 2 hours.
Yeah, it's like
Like
2 hours,
obviously
27 minutes.
yeah, like I'm happy for him, but that was so weird that his ban was indefinite and then I don't do you think the Rocket League community actually helped that or do you think it was more so he actually just reached out to somebody and was like, "Hey, I got banned. What's up?"
I know he did reach out to someone, so I think it was more that than it was the Rocket League community.
Right, the
But
hashtag
for the
free squishy or
storyline,
whatever.
exactly. For the storyline, let's go with the hashtag free squishy. But 90% sure it was because Squishy contacted some people over at Twitch, gotten banned, and he's back. Um, but it's just so weird that that's even a possibility. I really hate that we even have to like bring this up, or that Squishy even got banned. It's just a dumb thing to even discuss because I feel like my channel is specifically like I know other people are different, but like with my channel specifically, I feel like my music relates a lot to like my personality and stuff and how the stream vibe is and usually is. But like you can't even use the same music anymore. So it's like I feel like everyone's streams are going to be so much more boring now. Um, obviously you could still make great content. You could still have a fun time with DMCA free royalty free music, but still it just feels wrong. Be not even listen to it.
Yeah. I feel that. I feel like record labels are like within their right to kind of stop it, but I don't know about fully like banning somebody. You know what I mean? I don't. I mean, that's probably like
It's
more so
crazy.
Twitch is doing. I'm not sure, truthfully, but Because the way YouTube does it is they kind of just take your monetization. So I was talking about this earlier with like my chat during my stream, is they just kind of take your monetization and give it over to the record label. But how would Twitch do that if somebody is giving you bits or subs and and say like a record label comes in and is like, hey, well actually wait, this is my music, this is my content. Do they just give over sub money or do they just ban you instead? You know what I mean? Because YouTube
Yeah.
doesn't really ban for that stuff.
I mean, I think until there's a way, like some sort of system developed for them to really like find the valuation that the music is bringing to the stream, it's gonna be a sort of just like nip it in the bud type scenario where Twitch just issues the ban. And I mean, the laws surrounding like the DMCA laws are just like they're ancient, man. They're ancient. They're not for our current digital age anymore.
Yeah.
I don't know if they like ever even really were like the usage of like the music in live streams and like everything. It's new, you know what I mean? It's like they're just hungry. They don't want to miss out on the cash. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of cash to be had with the DMCA's, but I mean, again, I just want to touch on that briefly. Just let everyone know about it, inform everyone on that little biz right there. Let's go into the next topic, which is stable team environments. It's a kind of general overall topic. We wanted to start off with discussing Kronovi. This is a lot of recent news coming at you. We got Crow leaving Rogue. Pretty intense move from him because everyone kind of knew there was some beef, some intensity between the players the whole season. So it was kind of nice reading the twit longer because it was like kind of confirmed everyone's suspicions about the team. So let's go over this, and you want to read off the twit longer, Riz, that little paragraph.
Oh, sure. I took Crow put out like a tweet longer that was like maybe 6 or 7 paragraphs, but this one specifically I feel like is super important to what we're talking about.
Yeah.
I'll just read it. It says, first, I want to start off with the reason why I left. As I'm sure most people can guess, the team environment was far from perfect. Personalities on the team clashed quite a bit, and it often led to animosity during practice and or live games. Before the major happened, I had a talk with our manager. I told him if we couldn't overcome the hurdles we had tripped on at all the other regionals, then I would like to be put up for transfer / be released. I felt like the 3 of us on Rogue had hit our peak, and I was tired of trudging through practice with a team that I know wanted to replace me that couldn't even compete with the top 4.
And it doesn't really say it too much here, but like for people that don't know, there was something that happened before the season started where First Killer was in a Twitch chat. I don't remember whose Twitch chat.
I don't remember who it was either, but
yeah, but he came into the Twitch chat and basically said, "I got one upgrade, just gotta wait till the next season to get another." And and there's no one else. And I remember at first tried to play it off like he was talking about his coach or something.
yeah.
And that's obviously just stupid. So everyone knew he was talking about Crow. And from then I knew the whole team was chalked. I'm like 100% this team is already ruined, and they just formed. Like it was just like there was no way that team would have worked. So it just felt like a wasted season from them. And that's how we can get into the main topic: the importance of a stable team environment. And so I think let's go into my experience with Install, and then we can relate that into dealing with loss and everything. So Crow had a bad experience with his team. Obviously, it wasn't a good environment. Maybe it was a little toxic. We don't really know. Probably what happened was like they would scrim, they would maybe lose, they would do bad in the tournament, and then they wouldn't talk after. They would literally just leave and not talk about the loss, and then move on like it never happened. Okay. Actually, we'll talk about the losses first. Talk about Install later. So dealing with losses on a team. I think too many teams take losses too hard. Like you can lose a series, like a really important series. You could take it hard and you can keep it as a chip on your shoulder and like remember that you lost it. But you shouldn't be like sulking in it and just like trying to think of someone to blame for the reason you lost and not trying to look at the overall team as an issue, or whether it's mental, whether it's in game, whether it's one person, or whether it's the whole team. Like you need to work together to try to solve that. And I want to hear what you do, Riz. And actually, Chad probably has a lot of info on this too, from PUBG, from different teams. I know Chad's been on some CS teams and stuff like that, so it probably some good info from an FPS player to see some different types of team environments.
I feel like I kind of want to hear Chad's take first
Yeah.
on this.
I mean, I don't know. The thing is, when it comes to competing on a team in any scenario, whatever it is, if you're competing on a team where you have, you have teammates, okay? They don't have to be your best buds, all right? They don't have to be your best pals necessarily. Obviously, things work a little better if you do get along well, but at the end of the day, like, you're reaching for a common goal and you assembled this team to try to reach it. So you have to work together to sort of achieve that. So you have to have some sort of mutual respect for one another, right? And this kind of loops back into what I was saying last week about how with Rocket League just being a three-man lineup, it's really easy to to kind of single people out and to let this toxic environment flow. I think when it comes to like certain FPS games, it's a little different. You have a wider roster, right? So there's more intricacies behind the scenes as to like what your team's thinking, what's going on, and everything. But like that's the thing. You have to have mutual respect for one another, and you have to work towards your common goal, even if you're upset. You can't let your emotions get the best of you. It's like a job essentially. You got to get your bottom line, doing whatever it takes, and sometimes that means like maybe you don't fuck with this guy. Maybe he's not your best pal, but like you got to work together, and you got to try to work out those issues without singling someone out. And if you do think genuinely that someone is the problem or there's an issue, you got to confront them. You got to communicate. Communication is everything. It's like a relationship, right? Your teammates, it's like being in a relationship, and you have to nurture that relationship and take care of it, and you have to respect it.
Yeah, I feel that. I feel like also you were mentioning how like you have to work together as a team. I feel like there is a point where you kind of think, okay, maybe as a team this is not going to work
Mm.
anymore, and maybe we should consider a replacement. But I don't. In this specific scenario, I don't think that situation should be before the season starts.
Yeah. And I
Yeah,
think that's what makes the situation just so like weird. Like I don't know, like I'm not trying to like target like first killer and like call him like a terrible teammate, but like that's something that's absolute shit to your teammate would do. Like you don't really go around publicly like if you immediately like start of the season think that you're gonna go around and tell people that you can't wait to like upgrade. I think like for the rest of your Rocket League career, people are gonna recognize you as like a bad teammate. So,
yeah,
um,
definitely. I
yeah,
feel
I
like
mean,
people won't cut him slack either. Like even from like a fan point of view, it's like, oh well, he replay anytime he loses any match or whatever, they're always gonna like point to first killer. If anything happens, they'll just be
yeah.
like, oh well, he missed that one save or anything like that. It's always gonna be, the fans aren't really gonna be a fan of him specifically, even if they're a fan of the team.
It's definitely a lot more pressure on him. That's for sure.
Yeah,
I
And I
think there's
mean,
no reason to put that kind of pressure on yourself.
and not to like gang up on first kill it, right? Like we don't know their team dynamic. We don't know like what kind
yeah,
of communication they had. Like maybe Crow necessarily like didn't reach out and try to communicate in the way he should have as well, which can also, like ramp up the drama and ramp up the emotions. Because I mean, we all have emotions. At the end of the day, like everyone's passionate, right? Everyone's passionate about what you're doing in this scenario, and so emotions are going to flow. The more passionate you are, the more emotions you're going to let out, and it's about handling those. And we don't know what's going on with that team. We're not in their comms. We don't see their messages, so we can't really say who's to blame for anything. I think everyone's to blame for the team not working out. I think it's everyone is at fault. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
yeah.
No,
I feel
100%.
that.
And any team I've ever been on, it's never been one person. Um, aside from the next case that I will transition over to. You guys know
Aside
this
from
player.
this specific one.
Okay.
So I've talked
you
about
enjoyed
this.
talking about this guy.
I've talked about this before, but it hasn't really been with a group. I talked about it. I mentioned it on my stream solo, but this does relate to a team environment. Usually, and like I remember when it was me, Joro, and Cobb, and like everyone was blaming Joro for like us playing poorly, but like it really wasn't Joro's fault. Like he was put into like an RLCS level like immediately from no experience.
Do you want to give more perspective on this, like to people who might not know what you're talking about?
Yeah. So in season 3, no, sorry, I'm stupid. Season 3, in season like 6 or 5, we replaced Insolences with Joro, who didn't have too much experience in RLCS at all, and he was like put in. Like there was not much time to like choose someone else to replace either, and You know, he's like a rookie coming into RLCS, and there's a lot of pressure on him, and he's joining me and Jacob, who have been in RLCS since the beginning. And it was just like a weird season for him, and everyone kind of blamed him for doing poorly. But like I never thought it was Joro's fault. Like even he ongled in his first touch in RLCS. Like imagine that.
That was sick.
Imagine your
His
first
literal
touch.
first touch.
Yeah, his first touch ever in RLCS was an own goal. Not even like a shot or anything. His first touch was an own goal. And like even then, like we didn't like the own goal happened and like it was in his head, but like me and Jacob didn't care. Like we just like moved on from it. Like we were like it happened, and we ended. I think we won that game anyway.
Yeah, you gotta laugh about stuff like that, man.
Yeah, if it's bad vibes, it's just not. No one's gonna like be able to move on with it. So me and Jacob just laughed about it, or like, and then we're like, just don't worry about it. They'd move on. So anyway, let's get back to Insol. So team environment with Insol. Insol was going through a weird phase. I will say that, and as we're in like we're talking about like mental health later in the stream, I will say he was kind of going through a weird phase. Both like mentally and he was kind of going through like a slight stoner phase. But aside from that, he didn't put in any hours into practicing or prepping for the teams we were gonna play compared to me and Jacob. And one thing that you expect from a teammate is to put in the same amount of work and effort that you're gonna put in. So if me and Jacob are putting in 70, 80, 90 hours every 2 weeks, and we're making sure we're at every scrim, and then you can't make sure to put in the effort once a week at least. I'm going to talk about 1 week only because this is too long of a topic. 1 week we had C9 and NRG in the same week. Okay, C9 at the time is Squishy Muffins, Gimmick, and Torment. NRG is Fireburner, Justin, and Garrett. Okay, and we had them on the same week. It's the most important week that we have. So me and Jacob are like, this is the most hours we've had the whole season in 2 weeks. And then install that for that week, he didn't even show up to a single scrim. So we went in to Saturday, 5 days, not a single scrim. We went in and we didn't have any practice and we got slapped. I think we lost in like 4 games in each series. And it was just like such a terrible, like from that, that was like week 2. And from week 2, we knew the season was over. Like we didn't want to play anymore because it was like
just doomed. Right.
Yeah. So immediately we like chalked our season. Like there's no point. There's no point to play because this guy doesn't want to show up for scrim. And so now I want you guys to add on to it and go on to the next part that I wrote because I think you guys probably can give a lot. I don't know how much you guys dealt with Insol being like this. Because also he was a little bit more normal back in your days. So go ahead. I'll let you guys have the stage.
I feel like I want to shift this to Chad again first. just for your experience with insolences.
I mean, dude, okay. I mean, Insol's a good kid, man. He's a good kid. I want to start by saying that.
Yeah, we should say, we have nothing against Insolence.
Nothing. No, I love Insol.
Like he's good for this topic.
Yeah. He's just the worst team I've ever had, but I like him now.
No, he's a good kid. I definitely think, I mean, you got to think about how young he was. I mean, just talking about like our season, right? Like he's a really young kid. He's got a lot going on, you got a lot of hormones, you got a lot going on at that age. He's like, what, 16, right?
I think he was like 16 with
He's
us.
like 16. There's a lot going on at that age, man. As many, you guys can attest to, and I'm sure a lot of people listening can attest to that, it's a confusing time. It can be strange. And it's kind of tough to balance all that being a normal 16-year-old kid in high school growing up with, whatever problems he might have at home or like whatever else. And then also like trying to balance this like professional Rocket League career and like personality that he was becoming. And I know like it was definitely a bit of a struggle when he was with Take 3 to get him online. Like when we needed him online, like at the right time for scrims or practice, it was a lot of like me just spam calling his phone and texting him and like sending messages and like just like giving him ample heads up of like when shit was happening and like just constant communication. And like I also tried to I like the kid, man. He's awesome, and I feel like he had like a good amount of respect for me and Dylan especially. So he listened to us a little bit more, and that kind of I feel like that gave us a bit of an insight into his mindset and what he was thinking and all that. But it definitely wasn't easy getting him online when you need to be. Definitely wasn't like
it was never.
I'll be honest, I don't even remember that. Like you specifically spam calling him.
Oh yeah,
like
yeah, I would all the time, bro. Why do you think he was always online for scrims, dude?
Yeah,
Because
we had
back then,
Fickle
we,
do that.
We didn't scrim like back then. The scrims were nothing like they were now. Like you have specific schedules and stuff. Like
Yeah.
you know, like way ahead of time, and it's expected of you to show up to scrims. But back then, it was like, do we have scrims today? I
Yeah.
don't know.
Yeah, I would message. You would message. We would just like message every, anyone, any of the top teams or like RLCS teams. We'd just be like, anyone want to play? Like,
Yeah.
we need the boys to play. Like, let's get it going.
Now we
Yeah.
schedule like weeks in advance. Back then it was really like day of, like, yo, dog, hey, you got a scrim? You got scrim? Oh, okay, you take it? You mind telling me who so I don't have to ask them? And you go ask the next team. And that's how it was all the time back in the day.
Specifically, I mean, for Insol, like with me personally, like I didn't know you spam called him, so that's something that I didn't even know we dealt with.
That's my job, bro.
I was gonna say that's just the great role as coach slash manager.
That, bro. I take care of you. You know.
Hey, there he is. But I mean, personally, like I don't think I dealt with anything horrible with Insult. Like I was pretty. I was chill with him. Like we were cool, and like there wasn't anything that I felt like that was super unprofessional. Besides that, like he just tilted a lot. But besides that, like that's just the
he did tilt
thing.
a lot.
Like,
yeah.
Some people just tilt way more than other.
Yeah, you
players,
can't really.
like,
I mean, usually the thing with Insol is he would tilt, but honestly, it wouldn't really like affect him too much because he's like memeing sometimes when he tilts.
Yeah.
I think it affects him more than he would lead on, to be honest.
Probably.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true. Install's a funny dude. I'll see Install now in ranked. Like, you know what? You want to know a funny story? Install, like, will be in ranked. I was, like, playing with Garrett or something, and, like, we ran into Install. And Install would just, like, he would beat Garrett to a ball, and then he would just type in chat, like, holy fuck, I'm speedy. Like, he would literally be like, oh, I'm still the fastest. Like, he just loves hyping himself up like that. I think that's fucking hilarious. And I think Install would have been a really good player if he hadn't been so stupid. Because really, it was just him being so stupid that held him back. I tried to put it into his head. I'm like, dude, I'm just gonna say the salary we got because I don't really care. We were on Rogue and Insol was making no salary, and then we joined Rogue and immediately we got him on starting salary $7K a month. Immediately, Insol was making 0, and immediately he went from 0 to 7, and instead of grinding, dude, he literally lowered his hours to like 10 hours every 2 weeks. So imagine, chat, I want you to imagine you're spending 5 hours a week at your job, and you're making $7K a month. I want you to take that in and imagine that.
You know what the best part is, actually, specifically about this? On my team, he was fine, right? After that dude spent so much time on CSGO. I don't even know if he ever touched Rocket League.
Dude, that's what changed him, dude. CS had to have been what changed him.
You forgot about that?
I forgot all about that.
He put
went
so
on a
many
tweet.
hours into CS. No. He had you'd look at it and you'd be like, oh my god, Install has 140 hours in the past 2 weeks. Let's see what games he's playing.
It's like 130.
CSGO, 130 hours on CSGO, but like 10 hours in Rocket League.
Absolutely fucking crazy.
I remember that because he'd always ask me to play. He'd be like, "Hey, bro, come play CS with me." I'm just like, "Dude, shouldn't you be playing Rocket League?" Like,
dude, he was asking like 1v1. Like he wanted to like try hard throughout 1v1 to prove he was better than me at CS. And I'm just like, you gotta just like stop being stupid, please. And like that was the end of the conversation because there was no point to try to go on with him about that.
I mean, like,
you go.
I was gonna say like $7K a month. That's like just like objectively, that's a lot of money. But then think about he's like 17 years old. Like, tell me he's
playing
not
video
like
games,
just flexing on all his homies and all the chicks he goes to school with. Like, even if he wasn't like on his computer playing Counter-Strike at the time, he was probably like out there, like, trying to ball out a little bit, bro.
Yeah, I feel like people don't take into perspective of how much that actually is. Like 7K a month still sounds like a lot, but that's still $84,000 a year. Like a lot of people take it in as like a yearly salary, but $84,000 a year as well.
Install's age.
He didn't get that much because I don't think he lasted that long. I don't even think.
It didn't last that long, no.
Regardless, it's still a lot of money.
It is a lot, and it is very surprising that you wouldn't want to grind for that money, but
I would mention one more person who kind of did this was Lichinio in like season 1 or 2. He constantly played H1Z1.
True, he did. Lichinio would have been on that Iris team if he kept grinding. to be honest. Instead of
yeah, they kind of shifted the blame on that. I forgot about that completely. It was Torment, Squishy, and
Latch.
Lachinia, yeah.
And then they
And they
picked up
kind of
Gimmick.
shifted the blame onto him because he wouldn't get off H1.
Yeah, I mean, Installs. I mean, dude, I keep saying Installs. I mean, both Latch and Installs' careers, and Matt, I'm going to say my old teammate Matt, could all be completely different if they had a better mindset of taking things more seriously.
Yeah.
100%.
But I feel like it's so hard. It's so hard at that age as well.
It is hard. But you know what's crazy is with Matt, my old teammate, for anyone that doesn't know Matt, Season 3 Rogue, Season 2, I met Matt Season 1, and up until Season 4, I stopped teaming with him. And Matt probably could have been one of the best Rocket League players to this day. I think a lot of people would attest to that. Back in Season 3, he was probably top 3 in NA. I would probably put like Garrett, JNaps, and Matt, my top 3 in NA.
Yeah.
And Matt just had a horrible mentality about about enjoying the game, about trying not to get like depressed just because you're playing the game, having to grind the game. It's like he just couldn't accept this game as a job. I think him making the game as a job ruined it for him, and he didn't enjoy it anymore. But it's like, the opportunities for you to in the future, if you kept going with the game, are like endless. So it's just crazy to me how much wasted opportunities there are with Rocket League.
Yeah.
No, I definitely think the whole like transition into like this is no longer your hobby. This is no longer like your chill downtime. This is like how you're making your money. Like this is your profession now. That's a huge thing for a lot of people. I mean, even me, like even now, like I did take some time off away from the stream for like a year and a half, 2 years. I was streaming like every now and again. I'd hop back on for like a month or so, but I realistically took about 2 years off. And I think among other factors, part of the reason was that streaming became like just the tedious like 9 to 5 like job thing. It wasn't my like hop on, play games with my friends and like unwind and like relax and have a good time anymore. And I think that's something like I even personally struggled with, was that sort of transition, because it really changes how you look at it and how you enjoy it and how you experience it, So I mean, I couldn't imagine like at that age having to deal with that on top of like whatever else you got going on, and we don't know what's going on behind the scenes, with their mental health or like what other factors, and we'll get more into mental health later into the podcast, but
Yeah, I want to mention that as well. That like just because we say like, oh, it's all these people didn't take it seriously, sometimes mentally you might not feel like you actually can take it seriously. So like
That is
it might
true,
seem
yeah.
like a wasted opportunity, but to that person specifically, it might seem like at that time there's no chance they could even do such a thing.
right.
That's true. That is true. All right, Chad, you want to lead us on to our next topic?
Yeah, definitely. Do you the practice one or the next?
No, the next, and then we
Okay.
This one.
So I wanted to bring this up.
What is
So
it?
let's talk about OC Rocket League.
That was weird.
Yeah.
That was weird. Sorry about that. We had a
Yeah, let's go on to the next one.
I had to cut him out
we
from
have
the
something else
streams
here.
really
Some
quick.
impact on content creators through Rocket League free to play.
Yikes.
Actually,
Yeah, should we bring him
see
back?
that?
Should we do we let him talk?
Did you kick him?
Yeah, I did. Shut.
Okay.
I'll bring him
Listen,
back.
I'm sorry. Never again. Never
Okay.
again. My
Yeah,
bad.
don't.
Okay.
Nah,
Yeah,
no, we don't do.
seriously, dude.
We don't do
Nah,
OCE.
Not cool, man.
We don't do OCE, dude. Okay,
My bad.
next.
My fault.
No, you're good. You're good. Rizzo, why don't you go
Hey,
ahead, man? Sorry,
hey,
I'll just.
You're new. You're new.
I'm losing my mind out here right now. Rizzo, why don't you
All
go
right.
ahead on to next? I can't speak anymore. I'm losing my mind.
Okay, we got I don't know if we touched on this in other episodes, but or other episodes if we've had so many. But the past 2 episodes of impact on content creators through Rocket League free to play, and just in general for these people, what Rocket League free to play has brought to them. I wrote down like a few stats, and I kind of want to explain like the significance of that. So John Salmon went from, this is on YouTube by the way, 5 million channel views a month to 15 million. Musty went from 9 million channel views a month to 35 million. And Sunless went from 11 million channel views a month to 53 million.
Crazy.
That's a fat ass number.
That's
man.
a shit ton, dude.
These are huge numbers.
He's raking in the bag.
Yes, the cash, man.
Crazy.
I have I have Twitch stats too, but I want to get into that a little bit, like just after this specifically. With like YouTube monetization, like it's not a joke. And seeing those numbers in Rocket League is unreal
Crazy.
for me because I mean I can understand just somebody even seeing those numbers and being like, oh my god, it like finally it kind of paid off or whatever. It's like I've been in this scene for 3, 4, 5 years or whatever for some of these people. And it's just like seeing those numbers and like your channel absolutely explode is I mean, I probably unreal for them.
I mean, I think you have the best insight into it. I feel like you've been one of the longest running like Rocket League YouTubers in the scene. Like,
The problem is I don't actually upload on YouTube that much.
I mean, like you
Uh,
used to, you used to. So
yeah,
like, you have
yeah,
an
yeah,
idea of like how the scale was back then, like even compared to now.
yeah. No, these guys like easily triple, quadruple their revenue, and you could imagine they're making like a pretty penny. Specifically for me, I don't even upload that much, and I don't need any of the other stuff. I don't need Twitch. I don't need contract. I don't need esports. And so seeing that and seeing these numbers, like I don't upload, and I know for a fact that these guys are raking it in, just to say the least.
Yeah, no,
Absolutely, dude.
facts.
Like those are numbers you'd expect from like Fortnite and stuff. Those are Fortnite channel views.
Yeah,
you know
no,
what I mean?
I'm not gonna lie. Those numbers are crazy, and you know that's like 6 figs a month, like no cap. Like if you're like with the rate it's
Depending
going.
on what the content is, yeah, it could easily be 6 figures a month.
Yeah,
for some of these guys.
I feel like with streams and with everything, like if they actually grinded out like the whole spiel, they're in the free to play, they'd be raking in. I mean, I feel like John might be making just as much off of Twitch right now too, because have you watched John's streams lately? They've been like actually popping.
I don't know. That dude streams super late for me most of the time.
He streams a lot though, but like John is like dedicated, but like all of them have been just going off, dude. Even other channels, like I think Leth's views have gone up. I think Mercy's views have also gone up.
Yeah.
I know Pulsefire's views have gone up. I know my CPM personally has gone up a lot, like $3. My CPM's gone up.
Do you just want to explain what CPM is for anybody curious?
I don't even know really how to explain it, but
Okay, I'll explain. It's called clicks per milli, and milli means 1,000.
Yeah.
So per 1,000 clicks, you're supposedly supposed to get this amount of money. So Sizz saying his CPM went up $3. That means every 1,000 clicks, he's getting $3 more.
Yeah. So before I'll just tell you, I was getting like around, I feel like around like 6 to 7 or something around there CPM. I just saw what Johnny said too.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I mean my views haven't really changed either. Actually, I don't really know. I didn't really even look at my own channel. I looked at the other channels. But I feel like my views haven't changed too much. Maybe a little bit more. But all I've noticed is my CPM is more.
Yeah. I don't know why specifically that happens. I mean, well, actually, it might just be because it's like October and November, so it's like holiday months, so your CPM just goes up regardless. Because YouTube ad revenue is so all over the place. It's so hard to judge somebody be like, oh, they get 15 million views, they get this amount of money. Like it just doesn't work that way. It never works that way. It's always so differentiated, and there's so many factors to what can change it.
Speaking of money earned from channel views or YouTube views, did you see that one video? This is like completely unrelated to Rocket League, and did you see that one video that Dream posted about how he didn't make any money off of his first 4 or 5 viral videos? Yeah, so he made literally $0 off of like 4 videos with like hundreds of millions of views in total.
Really?
Yeah.
Why is that?
I like watched the video. No, I watched the video and I literally don't even remember why. But there was a video he posted that explained it, and I probably should have watched the video, but I didn't know we were gonna talk about this. So that's like something I should have researched. But if you guys want to watch the video, I'm gonna link it in the chat. That way you guys can check it out. Let me see.
Oh, someone just said it was because he didn't monetize them. So
really,
I mean, that would obviously make sense. Yeah, maybe he didn't have like monetization on his channel at that time.
Yeah, I think that's what it was. I think that's what it was. Yeah. I didn't think the video, but yeah.
YouTube still.
Yeah, his channel's only a year in, and which is insane considering he's now one of YouTube's biggest subscriber channels.
Well, so they weren't monetized. So like there wasn't any ads or anything, right?
He literally couldn't monetize them because his channel was new, so he made no money.
Yeah, I mean, that's how it goes. Yeah.
That's
I
just
mean,
the
you're not
way it
selling
goes.
the ads, you're not making the money, right?
Yeah, I mean, I'm just saying that's rough. Imagine you make a new channel, you have a viral video, and you just get no money though. That's just rough. Just because your
Yep.
channel's
Yeah.
new.
I mean, definitely is missing out on like some potential cash, but I mean, you got to start somewhere.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
like, I mean, those videos like blowing up huge. Yeah, like it seems like he lost out on more money, but like it's not really how it is. Even if they like blew up like not nearly as big, you know what I mean? Like, and he
Hmm.
still like went towards monetization and everything. It's like I don't know. It's kind of hard to be like, oh, he missed out on all this cash because he wasn't monetized yet. But like, you got, you got to get started. Like, you got to get it
Yeah.
rolling somewhere. You know?
And I don't think he's really complaining at
I
this point.
mean, yeah,
I
like
don't think he cares, for those 3 videos or 5 videos, whatever you said. Like, at this point, he's like, "Yeah, you
At
know
this
what? I'm
point, it doesn't
fine."
matter at all. But
yeah, because
um,
I mean, yeah, those videos are is where he built his audience from, and
yeah,
now these people are gonna watch all his videos that he puts out going forward, which are gonna be monetized, which are gonna make him money. You know what I mean?
yeah, yeah. True,
Yeah.
I agree. Um, but yeah, I mean, it's kind of cool to see how you can grow his channel in just a year. I mean, that dude kind of like that dude took something simple that can relate to anyone and just made it like interesting and gave it a storyline and that's it. He just grew in a year. He just kept going with some new ideas from Minecraft, and he blew up. Like it's kind of crazy how much you can
So
do. I mean, that could happen with Rocket League theoretically.
give some background on who Dream is and what he does exactly, because even me, like all I know is like I've seen him do Minecraft, like a Minecraft speedrun.
Yeah. So he basically just made some random Minecraft video about like some not like no, what's it called, some exploits about you could do, right. That went viral. Then he did like some hunt videos and some like videos with his friends that of a group, just doing some activity, some challenge together, and gave it a storyline. And that's his whole video idea every time. It's like a storyline with a challenge and then equals viral video. That's like the formula. And then he gives it like, the thumbnail, everything, all that's afterwards. And he edits it really well. It gives it good music. Everything, every little factor plays into the amount of views it gets.
I mean, I think not only that, like the effort he puts in, like the story he builds in his videos, but he's also like he's played a lot of Minecraft, bro, and he is mechanically like
Insane.
it's weird saying, but like mechanically he is an amazing Minecraft player.
Yeah.
And
Dude's
so like
fucking cracked.
yeah, that's great to watch, like anytime you see someone like in the upper echelon of players in a game, like it's
Yeah.
always a good time. And the fact that he then put the effort in and built up the story and did all this stuff, it's recipe for success.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Back in the day, he would play on the same Minecraft servers I did. So I a few months ago I played
Oh,
on this MCU thing, Minecraft Ultimate,
That
and
tournament
it was
thing?
yeah, it was like a big
Yeah.
Minecraft tournament, and I played with my friend Marcel, and then Dream was mentioning other people, and he's like, "Oh my god, like Marcel and Rizzo are on the same team." And as soon as he just mentioned my name, so many people came to my chat and they're like, "Dream's talking about you. Dream's talking about." I was like, "Yeah, I mean, like we know of each other. Like I don't know him, but like we know of each other."
mhm.
Yeah, yeah.
And it's just like it's crazy to think that like just where he started 5 years ago because he was really like nothing. And I mean, he just a year ago or whatever it was, a year and a few months
Yeah.
he started his channel and he's just absolutely blown up to like the biggest. He's essentially like the size of PewDiePie. Like he gets more views than PewDiePie. Like more,
It
a lot of people
does.
know PewDiePie's name, but like I'd argue maybe more people might know of Dream at this
I
point.
mean, anytime a Dream video is released, I see it knock number one, number two, number three on trending every single
Always,
time, and it's
always.
like there's not even a chance it's not. Um, and if you want to see some insane numbers, chat, you should just go to Dream's what's it called? Social Blade, and just look at that shit. It's gross. It's absolutely gross. His
It's
numbers.
disgusting
It's literally one of the most disgusting things I've ever seen, and I've seen
in the best
Rizzo.
way possible.
Never mind.
Yeah, no, we don't talk about that.
Never mind.
I was going to say, yeah, we can kind of move on from this, but
Yeah.
this is back towards Rocket League going free to play and just the numbers. I brought up the YouTube numbers of Sunless Musty and John, but specifically for Twitch, before free to play was released, the average on Twitch was, or throughout a month, was 10,000 viewers, like just at a time, 10,000 viewers and 600 channels streaming Rocket League at a time. And after free to play in October specifically, it averaged 30,000 viewers. So it
Hmm.
tripled its viewership and it went up to 1,500 channels streaming at a time. So basically tripled that as well.
Yes, sir.
And just thinking about how insane that is to completely triple your viewership in general, like the average viewership. It's not even like a peak or anything like that. Just the average going from 10K to 30K is so significant for every single person that streams Rocket League actively.
Yeah. I
Now
think
I'm
anyone.
curious. I'm curious what you think. Like, how much of this is due to actual like free to play audience coming into the game, or do you think there's a bit of like content creators seeing this like free to play wave and like seeing the dollar signs and then just streaming
know,
Rocket League and bringing their audience? You know what I
I
mean?
see.
I didn't think about that.
I
You
feel
know what I
like,
mean? Like-
okay. I feel like I'd say 30 to 40%.
I mean, why do you think I've been streaming Rocket League, bro?
Dude, yeah, no. That's
Hey!
Dude, 30 to 40% comes from the free to play players, a new audience, right? I'd say another 20 to 30% comes from just streamers playing the game more and streaming it more. And I'd say the other percentage comes from older players seeing the game's resurgence and coming back. I would say I'd say it's majority the new audience, and I'd say it's split between the streamers streaming it and also older players seeing it. So, but I think the numbers are crazy. I think it just shows like any game that's looking for like a resurgence in players should just go free to play, because it's just like the amount of growth you get and the amount of people that want to try your game out is ridiculous. And I think some people will stay.
I don't think so. Specifically, I don't think so, because they have Epic backing them, and that's like a
Okay,
big thing. They did a
that's true.
lot of
Yeah.
advertising that we didn't see.
They're dipping into the Fortnite kids. You know what I mean?
There's TikTok ads. you
Okay,
know what I
okay,
mean?
yeah,
Like,
the
we didn't see-
Fortnite kids are. Oh yeah, the Fortnite thing was probably a huge deal. I know that they did do the thing where you have to play Rocket League to get Fortnite skins, so that's
Yeah.
huge. But yeah, so I don't know. Free to play is goated. That's the end of the statement. Shout out Epic Games. Appreciate you guys.
I don't know if free to play is like always the answer for every game, but
For Epic Games, it is.
like in our industry and with video games and honestly a lot of media, specifically YouTube, I guess, it's honestly like dictated by kids, by children. Like that is where the money is. Like that's why you have that like kid that reviews kids toys. It's one of the biggest YouTube channels.
Oh my
fucking
God. Yeah,
fucking
what's
Baby
the
Shark
name?
just surpassed Despacito as the most viewed YouTube video with like over 7
Wait,
billion
really?
views. 7
Despacito
billion
got
Dude,
passed?
seriously?
by Baby Shark.
No
Kids, bro.
way.
Kids are what
Wait.
run this industry, man. At the end of the day,
That's it. I'm going PG.
That's actually crazy.
Fudge it, boy.
are you freaking serious, bro?
Hey, fudge
Dude,
you,
actually-
dog.
Actually, speaking of that specifically, so you mentioned how many people come from free to play while watching, like, because I mentioned how the viewership tripled earlier. You mentioned how many people come from free to play. I have so many people coming in. How do you get, like, because I use Fennec and it's not like an easily obtainable car. They ask, how do you get that car? How do you flip reset?
Oh
Like
my
so
God.
many questions a day. Probably like 50% of my chat is just people asking like new person
That's
questions.
just yours, dude.
nonstop.
Mine is just
Hey,
like
hey, I'm stuck in silver, stuff like that.
mine's literally just what car is that? Is the skyline in the game still? That's it. That's my
Yeah,
whole
no,
chat.
that's like free to play questions still though, because people don't understand. They don't know. And
No,
they're
I've-
asking you how to get the car.
No, I've been getting questions in my Rocket League streams that are like, "Hey, bro, give me some tips for a new player," and I'm like, "Bro, are you sure you want to be asking me? Like, of all the people?" Like, oh no.
Oh man.
All right. Well, I think we've kind of covered free to play. We've kind of covered the growth of a lot of different channels. It's good to see John Musty Sunless kind of running the top Rocket League. I know Squishy just hit 1 million too, so shout out Squishy.
Oh
hit
yeah,
1
I didn't
million.
even look at Squishy stats, but like, his average viewership on a video is like 300K now, and
Yeah,
that's,
yeah.
I already know his channel views has gone up so much.
Yeah, I know Squishy's views have went up, so Squishy hit 1 million. I think next up to hit 1 million is probably going to be
probably like Mertzy or somebody. I
yeah,
don't
probably
know who else.
Mertzy or like even maybe Leth.
Yeah, Leth or Mertzy, I think that's it.
But yeah,
Jazer,
okay.
Jazer too.
Jazer too, yeah. Jazer's videos are actually really entertaining. I actually like
Yeah, they
like
are.
just
I
like the
watch quite a
freestyle
few.
vibe. Yeah, him
More
and
guys.
Pulse kind of have the
More
same
boy.
vibe of videos, so it's kind of nice. But
Wait, kind of irrelevant. Before you go, did you see when he was gonna change his name to Moy? He was like making a Twitter poll,
I
and he was
know.
like, "I'm gonna change my name to Moy. What do you
Nah,
guys think?"
yeah,
And
yeah,
everybody was like,
no.
"No."
Nah, hell no, hell no. I literally, he asked us that too in one of the videos that we did. You know, Energy does those random videos. He
Yeah,
asked us that too, and everyone was like, "Fuck no, like let's just don't do that ever."
yeah,
Jazer just
that
sounds
is.
sick. Jazer's a sick name.
It is. Gotta respect the
Um,
Jazer.
all right. So the last two parts of our podcast today are us kind of discussing, games we started from, the impact it had on us growing up, if we met friends through it, how our career would have turned out if we didn't play those games, what games or what would we be doing basically if we weren't playing those games, stuff like that. So we're kind of going to discuss all that and then end on mental health. So let's start with the games that we started with. So I want to ask, Rizzo and Chad first. I want to start with one of you guys. Start with Rizzo. What games did you start with, and what impact did it have on your life in or out of the game? Whether it's with your family, whether it's with friends you met online, anything.
Are you saying like just the first game I ever played, or like the one I was like actually addicted
No,
to?
no, one game that you associate with a certain time
impacted
of
me?
your life. Yeah.
Modern Warfare 2 when I was in middle school, hands down. Hands down, I was in 7th grade. I didn't have that many friends in 7th grade. Like I knew people, but every 8th grader, because you know how I do, I'm the cool kid. Every 8th grader, or not every 8th grader, but like I had a bunch of 8th grade friends who I would play Modern Warfare 2 with because I didn't have classes with them, but I would always play Modern Warfare 2 with them. And that was like every single day, get home from school, go on Modern Warfare 2, talk to these guys, see them at school the next day, and it was just constant over and over. Basically, once that game was dead, I didn't really talk to them all that much anymore. But besides
over.
that, yeah, friendship over. But because they went to high school, but like regardless of that, like I played that game with those guys so much, like that is so significant to me, and I always remember that.
Okay. Chad, what about you?
Oh shoot, man. I don't know. I've been gaming forever. I definitely was like I was on the 360 playing like all the CODs with like some friends from school for sure. But I would say like probably one of the most like impactful or memorable experiences was when I got into I played some PC games like growing up. We had like Windows 98 on an old like piece of shit computer, dial up, the whole nine. So
Yeah.
I kind of dipped into PC gaming when I was like real young. But, I took a break, like, got into the whole console grind through middle school, just playing Call of Duty and, like, Halo and shit with all my friends. But I eventually ended up going back on the PC, and I started playing, like, PC games again, like Counter-Strike and Halo 1 and, like, a bunch of stuff like that. And eventually, um, I ended up jumping into Gary's Mod. And this is a game I dumped, like, I wanna say, like, 3K, maybe even
Hmm.
more, honestly, like,
Dang.
hours into. I played in this server, it was called Gang Wars. It was a custom game mode where basically you would, in Gary's Mod, you could, like, use props and, like, build things, right? So, there were limitations set on the server. There was a map designed with, like, different buildings with, like, usable doors and, like, garages and things, so you would build a base using the props, and then inside the base, the whole, like, point of the game mode essentially was you make a gang, and then there's territories around the map that you hit E and you, like, capture the territory, and then you fight against the other gangs, and then in your base, you just, like, sit in your base all day, and you have money printers and like other types of like things that you're farming all day. You got to like hit use on them to like collect. So it was very much like all we did all fucking day was like either sit in base and
It was
farm
like
or
a
like
real
go fuck up
gang.
the other gangs. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
that sounds like the most Gary's Mod game mode I've ever heard.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, it was honestly so much fun. I met like a real solid like group of homies from that, and that was the group of friends I ended up, spending thousands of hours just hanging out with, shooting the shit. Because
Yeah.
there's nothing. It's like you're waiting to get raided while you're protecting your shit farming. You know what I mean? Like you're waiting for someone to come fuck with you. So
Yeah.
we would just like chill, shoot the shit. Some of like the best pals I made, honestly. And then those are the guys that also went on to play like other games like Daisy Mod and stuff. And eventually, like when I started streaming, that was like my group of homies that I streamed along, like that played with me while I streamed when I first got into it.
Yeah, that's lit. What in Gary's mod like made it feel like it was like a real gang? because I feel like I remember I played it with you.
What?
Listen, no, listen,
What?
listen, I played it with you, right? And it didn't feel like we were like a real gang, right? Remember when we played?
Yeah,
'Cause-
I mean that. Yeah, we kind of like jumped into it like.
yeah, but so I'm
it
saying,
is
did you guys
dead,
hop on like
bro. It
every
is
day?
dead.
Like it was
Yeah,
like
we'd
a
wake
like a
up,
Discord
hop
call
in
ready to go.
TeamSpeak, hop in
Oh, it's
TeamSpeak.
TeamSpeak.
Yeah,
Okay.
everyone would just like meet in TeamSpeak every day. It was like our hangout room. Like we just chilled in TeamSpeak, even if we weren't playing necessarily. But like we might as well hop in the server and farm if we're just gonna chill anyway. You know what I mean? So
Yeah, no, those games that you can hop on and chill was nice. That's where it felt like you were kind of actually playing with your like squad, like your homies.
yeah,
But you know, that's like the whenever a game is like has like an impact on my life, I feel like it's because I can relate it to a certain group of people I played with.
Mhm.
Yeah, definitely.
But the second part that I kind of probably should have added on to the first part was did gaming, right? Did playing those games and stuff affect like your school and or like I'll just relate it to the parent part to the next question too. Affect your school and or parents. I want okay, we'll talk. I'll go on to this after myself, but I want to keep going with you guys since we're fresh on your subjects. But you know, did the games and did all the gaming, not only just the one game you played, did it affect your parents negatively or positively? And you know, with the school, were you failing?
Just right out the gate. For me, Modern Warfare 2 wasn't bad because I was still in middle school, so like I don't know, it really wasn't that bad. It's hard to, hard to
hard
really
to
mess
fail
up.
middle
Yeah,
school.
hard to mess up that bad.
Yeah.
But after freshman year of high school, going into grade 10, playing some more. I didn't play Modern Warfare 2 anymore, but I played like Minecraft and League of Legends, and yeah, I was pretty bad in school. I was pretty bad. I
Okay.
don't know, man.
All right, so we'll move on from Rizzo. We can see Rizzo's a delinquent, and we'll go over to Chad.
There's some pain in there, yeah.
Yeah, you can
All right,
tell
well,
there's some
I gotta
pain
like
in there.
intro this by like stroking myself off a little bit. I was kind of the kid in school that like shit just like made sense to me. So like I could do none of the homework, never pay attention, but show up on the test day and get like one of the best grades. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Me too, but
Yeah.
I stopped showing up.
So that enabled me to just like fucking slack off. Like I coasted through school. It was no problem, right? It was no problem. But I would say it didn't really start impacting until I started streaming. So I would say it didn't really do too much like up until my junior year of high school. And then that's when I was like really grinding like CS:GO and like some other stuff and the people I was playing with at the time, we would play till like 6 in the morning, like all fucking night. And
Oh
so of
god.
course like then I have to like be ready to go to school in like an hour. Not happening, bro. Like I would just go to sleep and then like come in at like noon and like do a half day. Or I would roll up early as fuck and just like sleep through all of my morning classes. And yeah, I got in a little bit of trouble for that. And I think by senior year, my senior year attendance rate, because I was literally just streaming all night and then like barely even going to class, was like around like 50%,
No
which is like
way.
which is like you
Jesus.
literally are not like allowed to even like
Can't
graduate,
you
go
literally
to
get
the
like
next like
suspended for like
so
Yeah.
my mom so like a little backstory, my mom worked at the school. She was a secretary. So I think I
You
got
got
I
a
think I got
briber,
away.
bro?
I think I got away with a
Listen.
little more than I was supposed to. But I
Okay.
also wasn't a problematic kid, you know what I mean? Like I got fucking good grades, like I just did well on shit and like I think there was some sort of mutual respect between me and my teachers like senior year too because like it was kind of like they were like why are you never like what is this? Like you got to come to class. I'm just like do I?
Wait, listen. Dude, you basically explained the same thing for me. You said senior, but mine was sophomore year. There was the dean for my high school was also my middle school gym teacher. So I knew him. I just called him coach.
Okay.
He's just a homie. Even when he was the dean for high school, I called him coach.
Hey, what's up, coach?
Yeah, I just said sup coach, and he would call me Rizzo. It's like a homie thing.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
so
okay.
Oh, you're Rizzo.
I got called into his office one day. He goes, Rizzo, here's the thing. He said, you're supposed to have 1 day of in-school suspension, or actually out of school suspension, something like that. You're supposed to have 1 day of out of school suspension for every day that you miss or every 3 tardies or something like that. Basically, I'm supposed to have a fuck ton of in-school, out of school suspension. And he's like, but if I give you out of school suspension, you'd probably like that. So he's like, so I'm just gonna give you 1 day of in-school suspension. Otherwise, you'd be here till the end of summer. And I literally was just like, thank you, coach. I'll accept it, or something like that. I was just like, thank you, coach. That's fine. I'm not complaining. And I was like, thank you, coach. I'll take it. I'll come in. I'll do it on that day. Don't worry about it.
Hey, bro,
he's like,
coach
thank
is a
you. I really
homie.
hope you show up for your 1 day of in-school suspension. I was like, I will. Don't worry.
Dude, we had that
Oh
in my
my
school
God.
too, which I feel like is the most like ass backwards shit ever. Like you're gonna take the kid that is skipping school on purpose, and his punishment is he is not allowed to come to school.
Yeah, it makes no fucking sense, dude.
Bro,
Yeah.
It makes no fucking sense.
Yeah.
At least
Yeah.
in school suspension, that makes sense. You force them to come to school.
Yeah, I
That
was
makes
forced
sense.
in-school suspension because I think I was supposed to have out of school because I missed so many days, but he was just like, I'm gonna force you to do in school so you're actually here.
Damn.
I was like, fair enough.
Damn,
I
Yeah.
can
you
do
must-
that.
Too much Minecraft for eating salsa
Too
to
much
go to
Minecraft,
school.
too much League of Legends.
That's
I don't know what
crazy.
it was, bro.
Oh man. What about you, Miano? What game? Like what group or of friends or what game like really?
Yeah,
like,
yeah. I'll
it's
just go through
memorable?
my whole spiel for you, dude. I got you. There's like 4 games I dedicate like memories to. Like the first one was CS 1.6. The second one was Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 and Modern Warfare, both. And then number 3 was League of Legends, and number 4 is Rocket League. Those are like the 4 games I have like sectioned into periods of my life, okay? Age 7 was when I started playing CS 1.6. Before that, I was on like console. And CS 1.6, I literally was a fucking loser. Like, no friends. Like, absolute fucking loner. Playing 1.6. There was no one I knew on the game except for my cousins. And they wouldn't even play with me because I was 7 years old. So, I basically played 1.6 since I was 7 years old. And just, like, played on I had a laptop. And I played on that up until Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 was released. Once Modern Warfare 2 was released, that's when I met my whole group of boys that you guys know, the TDC homies. They all go to high school. Imagine there's 8 dudes at your high school that go together. They all play Call of Duty, Modern Warfare 2. So there's 9 of us, including me. And then there's they're toxic as fuck, all to each other, right? It's a good group of friends. If you're toxic to your friends, that's how you know it's a good group. So
True.
and then we had 2 others that we met online, Naveed and Phil. So we had 11 people. All of us met online. So that makes sense. 9 of us online, 2. Fuck my English. 9 of us in school, 2 online. And now, how many years later? 8 years later, 9 years later. It's we're out of high school. Some of them are done with college. We're all still friends. Literally every person in the group, we're all still friends. And that same group of people is who I play League of Legends with. And League of Legends was like, that was a huge period of my life. I played that since the beginning it came out. And that was literally the only game I played, like, I tweaked on. And, like, there were so many moments that I could, like, recall that were, like, just good times in my life from League of Legends. And nowadays, look at the game, I fucking hate it. Rizzo, we can only play ARAM. I can't play that game anymore.
Yeah,
But
I can't touch the main game anymore.
yeah, back in the day, like, I learned so much about esports. I learned so much about, like, just playing with a group of people, playing with a group of friends, and, like, having fun. Like, so much of that was through League and through Call of Duty. And surprisingly, since I mentioned the school subject to you guys, I actually never got below a B in high school. And I was really surprised because, like,
That's cool, bro. Hey, Chad, look at this fucking dweeby.
Listen, dude. Listen. But you know why? That's because of my parents. My parents, like, I would get my fucking ass whooped on the regular, like, no cap, on a stack. You bring out the fucking
On a stack.
You bring out the belt. They bring out the naal, the chancla. You bring out the
La
fucking
chancla?
sandal, and you bring out the water bottle. Those are the 3 weapons of choice. The belt was rare. The belt was like once, maybe. I don't even remember if it happened. The sandal was the most common because it was easy access. So the sandal, I'd get my ass whooped if I wasn't studying and I wasn't, like, my parents would get a progress report and I'd have a lower grade. Then they'd beat my ass until I get some sense into me, and then I'd get back into an A. So I graduated high school with a 4.3 GPA, and
Damn.
and somehow I played endless amounts of hours on League and Call of Duty and CS the whole way through. And then I ended on Rocket League, and now I'm a depressed human being. So.
No, I feel like I had a couple C's, I think, throughout like all of high school, just a few, but like I said, like I tested really well, and then like me and my boys, like we're all about we called them QCs, the quick cop. We'd get the quick cop on the homework from somebody that did it, and then just turn that bitch in. You know what I mean?
I feel you, dude.
The QC.
Yeah, bro, get the
you.
quick cop. You know?
I feel you, the quick cop. That was what everyone did.
Cause like some classes weighted homework like super hard. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like you just like had to turn it in. You know?
Yeah, I've had classes that are like 30% homework. I'm like, thank fucking God, honestly, because it's just less effort on the exam. So maybe even more, like 50% homework.
Since we're talking about high school, you guys had summer reading, I'm assuming, right?
What is that?
No,
Like,
I've never
wait.
heard of that.
You guys
I've
don't
had
have summer reading?
I've had AP assignments where I have to read stuff over summer and then write an essay on it, stuff like that.
Yeah, you have an assignment. You have to read a book over the summer and like do a project.
I've had AP assignments like that.
I never had anything like that.
Oh wow. Okay, so we had that like every year basically.
Even non-AP?
I never read one of those books, bro.
Oh my God.
Never
no
once.
shot.
I'm not gonna
shot
fucking
over
lie. I
shot.
didn't either.
No.
Yeah, bro, I'm at the beach with the babes, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Bro, I fucking what was that?
Spark Notes.
Yeah, Spark Notes. I was trying to think of the name. Spark Notes was the only.
Notes,
I never read a book. Spark Notes
so good.
and Wikipedia. Anyone that says Wikipedia wasn't good info is a liar. Wikipedia, fantastic info. All the teachers that were like, oh, don't cite Wikipedia. Fuck off, dude. Wikipedia is more accurate than 90% of the websites out on the planet. 100%, that's facts.
Oh, you still use Wikipedia because guess what? All of the sources are at the bottom of the wiki page. Then you just go directly to the source. And guess what?
True.
That is now your source, dude. Not
True.
Wikipedia. All their sources. So.
You know, speaking of that, this assignment is going to sound crazy to you guys. This assignment was called, I forgot the name of it. This assignment, basically, specialties. It was called specialties. And basically, to summarize it, you have to write 24 minimum handwritten pages. 24 handwritten. Can't be written on a PC. Each page needs minimum 2 different sources. And each page needs to be on a different subject based on the category of history you chose. So I chose like theater, right? So I wrote 24 handwritten pages in one night.
There are 2 subjects on a page?
2 subjects per page. So like, for example, if it was theater, I would do 1 subject on like Shakespeare and 1 on like how his dick is big, right? And so I would write
you did 48. Wait, what?
48. And each page had 2 books cited to it. So 48 minimum sources amongst 24 pages written in one night, and every single source I got was fake. I got it all from Wikipedia, and I used EasyBib to find fake sources on the subject.
EasyBib.
EasyBib was the shit. EasyBib was the shit.
Fucking MLA format. It doesn't.
Fuck hell yeah, MLA, Chicago format, any format you wanted, ready at your hand. So I just fucking wrote some bullshit down. I just there's no copy paste because I gotta handwrite it. So I just copy paste handwritten everything from the website onto the page. Easy peasy. One night, 24 hours, no sleep, submitted it.
Damn, wait, when was this? Is high school?
This was high school junior year.
My God, I never had to do anything
horrible.
that
Yeah,
it
sounds
was
like, bro,
I'll never forget it. I still
Close
have
to that
it.
workload. Oh my God.
No, I still have the
to
paper
make a
saved.
poster with like planets on it and stuff.
Yeah. We get the trifold boards and like tape some shit on, bro.
No, I'll never forget that assignment. That still gives me nightmares to this day. If you ask anyone from Valhalla High School about that assignment, they will all remember that. It was fucking crazy. All right, well, I think that kind of covers that subject. Let's lead into the last two, the last part of this subject, and we'll go into mental health.
Yeah.
What would you guys be doing if you were not doing gaming? This is a tough one, honestly. This is a tough one.
I legitimately don't even know.
Probably homeless, dude.
That's I'm under the bridge, honestly, if you want to bunk.
There's some room over here, bro.
Cause I was gonna do like I tell myself I was gonna go like do basic classes and get like prereqs for at like a community college so it's cheaper and then
Right.
go to like university for something else. But like I legitimately had no idea what I wanted to do. Now actually like I would actually be really be interested in like programming and stuff like anything of the sort. Kind of what not specifically what Left does, but something similar. I
Mm.
feel like I would actually be interested in something like that. But at the time, 5 years ago, oh god, 5 years of this shit.
Jesus.
At the time, 5 years ago, I legitimately just had no idea.
Papa Rizzo at Rizzo, my Christmas list, looking for a belt or sandals.
La chocla.
La chancla. I don't know what I would be doing. Like, I had like a weird, like, little situation where like, I went into college like not thinking I would even do anything related to gaming because like I thought gaming was just like a fun thing I would do on the side, and then esports just kind of happened by itself. And I was originally going in as business to take over my dad's business because I think Chad knows some of my dad's business. He has like a warehouse and
Yeah.
stuff, and he distributes across California different different types of WIC products and such. And so I was thinking maybe I'll just go help my dad expand his business. I'll help take it over. I can use any of the new modern knowledge to help his business. And then I decided, midway through, like I didn't really enjoy it because I helped my dad with his business, but I never really like enjoyed it. So I'm like, am I really gonna do something like I don't really enjoy too much? So then I switched to bio, and I was trying to go into dentistry. And then I finished like a year or two of bio. I finished physics, all that stuff. I got a lot of the prereq classes finished so I can go into the major courses. And then I decided right when I was done with all the prereqs for bio, I'm going to switch back to business. So I switched back to business now. And then I took 2 more semesters, and I took a class of computer science as well with coding. And I don't know if I have my viewer Toaster in chat, but I had a teacher who literally was his first year teaching Python, and he had no fucking clue how to teach this fucking program. So I'm there, and this dude can't teach a program for coding, and he's giving us about 1 sheet of information a week about like how to code an entire program and like making a website and shit. And I'm just sitting there like struggling, and I'm like thinking like I have so much experience on a PC. There's no way these other idiots in my class are not struggling. Like that's what I'm thinking. And I go and I check I find out the average for the last exam, right? I got like an 84, and the average was like a 50 for the exam. And I'm like, this guy is fucked. This teacher is ruining everyone's grades are fucked. And he had to curve so much. I ended the class with a B, and he had to curve so much of the grades because of how shitty of a teacher he was. But like, anyway, I'm getting too much off topic. Anyway, I took a computer programming class, and I kind of liked it, but I still kind of am going business now, and I need 2 more semesters to finish, and I'm taking them off because we were supposed to be traveling a lot, but Corona hit, so we're no longer traveling. And traveling while trying to study and do exams, especially at my school, is impossible because you cannot change any of the finals dates, so it just fucks you anally, like bad. But anyway, Chad, move on to you.
Oh, dude, I don't know what I would be doing, man. I guess, well, so when I was in high school, my last 2 years of my junior and senior year of high school, we had this it was called the West Shore Career Tech program. So essentially, we could enroll in a class that would give us college credit, like while we were still in high school. So I ended up going into this. It was interactive media is what they called it. It's like visual communication and design. So all sorts of like digital media, basically. Like we learned how to build websites. We learned how to use like all of the Adobe suite and everything like that. Uh, we did photography stuff. We did all kinds of stuff like that. So I probably would have ended up. I actually did go to college for a semester too. This was when Rocket League was taken off, and it actually cut into my like Rocket League and my stream grind a bit. So then I got like really depressed too. I wasn't happy at school, and so I ended up like coming back and then getting back into streaming like real hard. But I imagine I would have probably just stuck it out and gone into some sort of field related to design, something like that.
Like what kind of design? Like graphics design, you mean?
Yeah,
Or you
yeah,
mean
graphic
like
design,
clothing?
video editing, stuff like that.
You
Okay.
ever seen those like graphic design is my passion pictures with like a little toad on it or something?
Yeah. So I probably would have done something like that. That or I guess like I potentially would have gone like super hard into sports, but that's how I like got into gaming. Was I had like a really promising sports career. I was like a year-round athlete playing like every sport you could name since I was like 4 years old, I think was when I first started like playing soccer. So I was like super, super fit, like athletic guy, like my whole life. And then I skated too. I skateboarded, right? I was out skating one day and I was doing like a flip, like a kick flip off a box, and I landed primo. So primo's like, when your board's like the wheels are on the ground, like your board's like this, right? So it's like when it's turned like 90 degrees
Sideways?
essentially.
Yeah.
So you land on like two wheels and then the side of the board.
Were
So I
you
did it like a
trying to
kick flip.
land like that for like a
No, no, no,
trick?
no. I
Okay.
just caught it. I caught it really bad.
Okay.
So I landed primo trying to do this kick flip and both of my knees fucking pop, and I just like collapsed to the ground. I couldn't
Oh
walk.
my god.
Turns out I have something called Osgood-Schlatter, which is it's like an issue with your growth plate and like the tendons or something like that, and it happens from like overuse while you're still like developing and growing. So
Jesus
that kind of
Christ.
I was a really really good athlete though. Like I wrestled at states both years prior to that, and I was looking to probably like do some sort of wrestling career throughout high school and into college, if not some other sport. But that's kind of what drove me to gaming too, because I couldn't compete anymore, and like my life was competition. So that's when I started like really fucking gaming like
Yeah.
hardcore. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
You know
hopped
what's
on the gang
funny?
servers after
You
that.
know what's
I
funny?
love
It's
that.
like it's not like similar, but the reason I started like grinding hard games, like when I started playing Rocket League, the moment Rocket League came out was also when I broke my ankle because we were playing volleyball and I landed on my friend
Wait,
Randy's
oh
foot.
my god, sorry. I remember that,
You
bro.
remember
I
that?
remember that's like when we met. I
That was
actually
when we
completely
met.
forgot about
So
that.
I broke my ankle. I broke my I forgot the name of the it was a fracture of the fibula. It was something in your ankle anyway, and I don't remember what it was. And for a year I couldn't play sports. It was horrible. Like, I literally couldn't do anything. I went to volleyball sessions on a cast and sat in the back, just hitting the ball, standing still, hitting it like this, just not moving, and just everyone just like, and then no one's targeting me because they feel bad because they know I can't move. So I'm sitting in the back, just AFK, fucking watching everyone spike and shit. I'm like, cool guys, that's cool. So I'm just AFK in the back. So I started grinding Rocket League like hard because I have nothing else to do because my broken ankle. So then that was like when I had like 100 hours in 2 weeks, and then everything kind of formed together. I guess if you want to go pro in a video game, just get injured. You'll never have a fucking life again.
True.
All right, well, it's good to talk about all that. Let's go. We're gonna briefly touch on this last subject. I know Chad has a good story that he was offering to tell in regards to some mental health. So we just wanted to kind of go over this. It's kind of, I know it's not like the main mental health month, but it is November. It's a subject that kind of anyone talks about year round, so it's something good to at least cover. So Chad, why don't you go ahead and take the stage here. You do you.
Yeah. So yeah, I brought this topic to the table because it's something that I struggle with and deal with on a day-to-day basis, and me and Rizzo have a bit of a story from the season 2 land in Amsterdam that I figured we'd go ahead and share it because I think it's important to talk about. It's important to spread awareness, and it being Movember, it's the time to raise awareness among men's health, not just physical but also mental. So when we were in season 2 land, it was the night, I believe it was the night of the after party. Um, I was hanging out with a buddy like the whole night. He was going through some shit, and so I ended up like taking care of him for the rest of the night. He came back, like he stayed at my hotel. I made sure he was like okay, and until he was like in a good enough mental state to get back to his place and get home because he was flying out that day or whatever, taking the train or whatever it was. So I took care of him. I sent him on his way, and as soon as that door closed and I got back into my hotel room, I just lost it. Like I've never experienced like I've definitely dealt with a little bit of depression and anxiety in my life prior to that, but I've never really had such like an awful panic attack. It's like this motion in the middle of your body that like won't stop and everything is very intense and you feel manic and like you can't like handle anything that's happening, even if nothing's really happening. And so like, dude, I was losing my shit. And I'm like I'm across the world from where I am. I'm in a country I've never been, like it was very, very scary. It was very scary for me and it was a very hard time. And if it wasn't for Rizzo and our other teammate at the time, Zane Jackie, I'm sure some of you guys remember him. I'm not really sure what would have happened, man. It was a very hard experience for me, and I'm honestly really blessed that you guys came to the hotel room and just, helped me even with the most basic tasks, like helping me just like pack up my shit and like just being in the room while I like went over and like took a shower in the bathroom and just like having that company was everything that I needed to help me like push through that. And after that, like we still ended up staying for like the rest of the week and like it was a great trip the rest of the way. It was just this huge hurdle I had to overcome. And since this is, the month where we're kind of spreading awareness, I feel like I would share this story and talk about how Rizzo and Zane were both like really, really good friends to me and were there to help me and support me. And I want to talk a little bit about how I think it's important to share your experiences and sort of talk about what you're going through. I know it's not easy for everybody and everybody's a little different and maybe not everyone has those people in their lives, but I think it's important that if you are feeling some type of way or you don't feel okay, you should find those people in your life and reach out to them and talk to them because it can make all the difference. And I don't know if you have any insight into that experience, Dylan, but, I think it's important. I think especially I wanted to bring this to the Rocket League community because there's a lot of you guys that are young, and I know when I was younger, it was weird and it was hard to deal with, but I think the sooner you understand and, like, can try to work towards bettering yourself and fixing these things and helping yourself, and relying on people in your life and your friends and your family, it's not like a thing of weakness or anything. I think it's huge and very important for your relationships and for your own well-being. But do you have any insight into that story at all, Dylan?
Yeah, I was about to say, if you don't mind me adding a few things. I
Mhm.
think from my perspective, because I was helping you deal with this, and it was not something I've ever done before. Because me and Zane, we shared a room, and Chad was in some other room across the hotel or whatever, and we got a text saying like, I don't even know what it was specifically. Probably just something along the lines of, like I'm freaking out or something like that.
Mm.
So we went over there to your room, and I had never dealt with this specifically, but just we like went in there and it was super like steamy because you were trying to shower but you couldn't shower or something like that. And it's such a weird thing because it's the most like mundane task. Taking a shower, that's like your everyday thing. But
Mhm.
Yeah.
when you're in this situation, you feel like you can't do that and you feel like you can't get yourself to do something like that. And again, being in my situation where I'm trying to help him, I feel like if somebody else is ever in this situation, you just kind of need to listen and hear them out no matter how mundane again the task might be, whether it's like um oh, I need to take a shower or I need to pack, because those are two things that we helped him do um before we ended up leaving the hotel. But just like hearing the person out when they're struggling through that is so important to that person, especially. And then there was something else that I actually can't remember right now, but um yeah, I don't know, it was just I mean, I was just helping a homie out, you know what I'm saying?
No,
And
yeah.
like
I think that's
Zane
huge
was there too,
too.
yeah.
I think that's huge too, because a lot of people like if someone comes to you with like a problem, a lot of people try to like find a solution for your issue. But a lot of the time these things don't make sense because
Yeah,
it's in
definitely.
your head, it's not really necessarily real, even if it feels so real to you. So not trying to necessarily like fix them and say like, oh, you gotta do this, you gotta do this. Just be there and listen, no matter like how left to center I go, no matter how much I'm spiraling. Just having somebody there to sort of keep you grounded and keep you moving and help you along. And I think if you're ever in that position, you should definitely just listen and just be there, just being there, letting whoever it is, if it's me or whatever, just like let me run through it, let me just like spew everything I have, like let me just
Yeah.
like freak out and just be there and see me through it. You know what I mean? I think that's a
Yeah.
huge part. That's a huge part of it.
I remember the other thing I was gonna mention now. It was specifically because because the event was over and then we were there for like 3 or 4 more days just hanging out. And at the time, Chad specifically was like, I don't want to be here. I want to get like a flight home. Like that was your intention. You didn't want to be there. And I've had panic attacks. I've had anxiety attacks where I feel the same exact way. It's like, why am I here? What am I doing? Like I need to leave. You just feel like you need to get out, but you also feel like you can't leave at the same exact time. It's such a weird situation to be in when you're in like that mental state. But I remember just sitting there being like, "Oh yeah, but like, do you really want to leave?" Like we had talked about it a bunch. You're like, "Yeah, I want to leave," and then I was like, "Oh, are you sure you want to leave?" And then I don't know. We basically just talked through it, and then eventually you fell asleep. And Chad passed out for like 10 minutes, and then me and Zane were sitting there like, "Do we let him sleep?" And then he just slept for a bit, and then we ended up, he was still okay, but he was there, and then yeah, we ended up just going through it, and then we had a great weekend. But I think the important part again is the stress being there for that
Hmm.
person.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I
And like,
think.
yeah,
Sorry,
go
you
ahead, go
go.
ahead.
Oh, okay.
No, go.
I think everyone kind of has some sort of mental health issues they deal with. I've certain ones to a certain degree. Like I remember one time I just tweeted out like a sad face. I think the first person that messaged me was actually Chad, when I tweeted out the sad face, and it was literally just like I was like in like a bad spot about like what I was doing in my life. Like, I didn't know if I should be streaming or if I should be like trying to keep going pro. It was like some weird mental. I forgot how it was so long ago, but there's like varying extents of mental health, and like that time in particular for me, it wasn't that bad for me. There's been other times, I've been in a lot worse spots, like mainly with like if it was like a relationship issue or if it was just some sort of life issue. There's so many different things that could affect someone mentally. And even this one time, I remember I was playing League of Legends with Rizzo, and I don't know if it was like a stress buildup or something, but I literally started sitting there. I was like mid jungle, and I started just like sweating and just like not being
Oh, I
able to
remember
breathe
this.
normally. And Rizzo was in the call with me, and I was like, what the fuck is going on? I don't know what it was. I don't know if it was like a stress attack or something. But I'm sitting there with Rizzo, and Rizzo just like has no clue what to do or say, and I'm just like not breathing normally and like sweating and just like sitting in my chair in some weird position, and it eventually just went away. But I don't know. I feel like it's all this ends up being build up and like not handling it correctly, and like the longest time what took for me was to realize like it has to be priority for your own happiness over others, and making sure that you are in a good mindset before you try to put others into a better mindset. Like you can't be going around trying to preach to others about how to be a better human and how to like take it easier in life when you can't even find Solomon yourself. It's just there's so many things that so many factors that add up to mental health, and you can't kind of jumble it up into some small little batch. It's like different strains of a disease. Like it's crazy how strenuous it can be on some people.
Yeah, and I
there's
just
so
want
many
to
different
clarify.
effects as well.
Yeah, I just want to clarify. Just because like you aren't 100% doesn't mean you can't be there for your boys or somebody else. You know
That's
what I
true.
mean?
Yeah, no, 100%, 100%,
Yeah.
100%.
A lot of times when somebody's going through something and they reach out, they just want somebody. Most of the time, they just want somebody to listen. They're not really even looking for advice, although you can offer it. Most of the time, they just want somebody to hear them out.
Yeah, true. And honestly, just listening and not even I feel like the worst thing you could do is try to tell someone the obvious answer when they're like in a mental breakdown state.
Something to do is you just say, "Do you want advice?" And they
Yeah,
say
exactly.
no, or they say yeah, and they'll answer truthfully too.
Yeah, straight up. Because I feel like the worst thing you could do is try to be like, oh, just stop being sad over this. Like that's not how it works, You just can't. That's
Just
not
be
how
happy,
it works.
just smile.
Be happy.
Yeah. Oh, just be happy, forehead. So.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's
But yeah,
never how it works.
this was a topic that was pretty important to me, and I feel like it would be a good thing to discuss on the podcast. This being mostly a Rocket League podcast, and a lot of the community being younger guys, dealing with struggles. I'm sure there's some of you out there, looking for some sort of help, or any sort of just just peace. So I just want you guys to know that you're not alone. A lot of us go through these things, a lot of us deal with it, and it's okay to reach out to people and try to find that support system that you need. And yeah, just raise that awareness. This is the month to do it. Check in on your homies, especially with the lockdown from COVID and everything. Check in on your friends, man. Be there for each other. That's all we got
100%.
is each other, right?
For real.
So,
That's facts.
that.
Keep the circle
So
close,
sweet.
you know what I'm saying? All right,
feel
well, I think that's a pretty good subject to end on. It's a touchy subject, of course, but it's good to bring it up. Good to at least let everyone know. We're streamers. Everyone thinks our lives are perfect. That's not how it is. We all streamers go through some stuff in the background that they try to push through, and at the end of the day, everyone you're not alone. Everyone goes through it. So just try to look for someone to reach out to if you're ever in a rough spot. We all love you guys. Me, Rizzo, and Chad. We love you guys. Hope you guys are all in a good state. And we appreciate you all coming out to listen to the podcast. And that's pretty much it for the day.
That's it for the Bizz.
That's all we got.
Episode 3.
That's it for the Bizz. It's a wrap. Episode 3.
Yeah, I feel we should mention the Bizz is on YouTube, Spotify, and Apple Podcasts. Check them out on all platforms. They'll be uploaded the following day after the live show. So if those are your cup of tea, they'll be there. So feel free to check those out. And that's all I got for you.
Yes, sir. Make sure to drop us all follows on our own channels. You got at Chad, at Rizzo_TV, and at Sizz. So thank you for coming by. I really hope you guys enjoyed the pod, and we'll do more of these every week. Make sure to tune in next week, Monday, 6:30, somewhere around there. We always switch it up.
Yeah, we're always a little late.
We switch it up, but All right, everyone. Let's go to the. We don't have an ending soon scene, so we're gonna go ahead and just head over to the full cam Rizzo ending scene. So
Okay.
we'll do that. Let me just full cam Rizzo over here.
Perfect.
yeah.
That's
There
where
we
we're
go. All right,
going.
guys. All right, we'll see you guys next time. Everyone have a good night.
Oh,
Good night,
And
everybody.
we love you guys. Peace out, boys.
goodbye, everybody.
Peace.
Bye, everyone.